He was right here. Like he was right here. Now it's gone.
Yeah, but this is right over there.
Oh yeah.
Just to give you an idea of how close the tiny house was to the main house garage, it's just a few steps away, which was really awesome when we were building because we didn't have to go very far. But now that the house is closer to being done, we thought we could move it to its more permanent location. My parents spend part of the year in Mexico, and we thought that it would be like a cool surprise for them to come back and just see that the tiny house wasn't here. So that's what we did, and it gave us a bit of a deadline, which was good. So the tiny house is fully on grid. It has hardwired internet, power, and water, which was a ton of doing. And we didn't film too much of it, which was nice, but we did do a time lapse of the move. And we have this fire pit down by our place, which doesn't look like much now, but we do have plans to kind of clean it up and make it like an actual fire pit. And that is some of the sort of junk and extra fencing that was down where our tiny house is now. So this was all overgrown. There's a bit of stuff happening here because we're working on the garden, but we mowed all up here to give us a bit of our own yard. And yeah, we actually moved the fence post for the horses paddock to give us a bit more space on that end too. And we really like it here because it's a little bit more private and it's right by the horses paddock, so I can just look out the window and see the horses. I miss these stairs. And in case you're wondering why they're over here and not in front of our door, it's because they don't fit under our door anymore because the terrain is actually the opposite of what it was when it was over by the house. And because we have an outswing door, we can't really make it work. So they're way too tall and the door would hit it and it wouldn't be able to open. So they're over here now, just hanging out. The cat sits on it and it's just waiting for us to figure out how to modify them or make new ones so that we can have some nice stairs going to the front door again. And for now, we just have that godforsaken plastic death trap. So we have been cooking in this kitchen every night, and it's been so awesome to cook in here and just to be so close to our living room. And everything has been working really well. We got this hood fan that Jake made. I'm not sure if that was in the last video or not. And our cooktop and our toaster oven. We got our shelving up and we're kind of using it for all of our glasses and bowls and everything. It's been actually kind of nice to be in here using the kitchen and just like seeing what we need and where we should put it, as opposed to having everything set up. There are a couple things that we're just gonna ask you all to see if you had any suggestions. We don't really have a place to put our fruit. We've just been putting it up on the cupboard. So if anyone has any clever ideas about that. And also our dish towels. We've just been putting it here, which is okay. Maybe we just need some nicer dish towels. I've seen some people throw it over the faucet, but this faucet is so big, it doesn't look good. So if anyone has any clever ideas for that. But yeah, our countertop has been working out great, which we were really scared about because it took so long to make and we just didn't know how durable it would be, but it's been awesome. I'll just say quickly that this hood fan was the last thing that we put in, so it is kind of unfinished. We just wanted to get it made and just make sure it works and everything before we went through the process of finishing it, and it works great. And we do have a fire extinguisher just under there because we realized that we cook under here and it's like bare wood, so safety.
The Icelandic plague, it lingers. More on that later. But first, I need to tell you that we're doing a giveaway in collaboration with Portland Alternative Dwellings, also known as PAD, which you may recognize from the Iron Eagle trailers that we so highly recommend. Those are PAD series trailers because they were involved in the original design process for those. Now they sell things like books and tiny house plans, which is what we're doing a giveaway on. Last year, we collaborated with them to produce a highly detailed SketchUp model, because SketchUp is our thing, of one of their plan sets for a tiny house called the Cider Box, which was designed by Darren Williams, who has been in some of our videos. So that's what we're giving away, is the two-dimensional PDF plans of the Cider Box tiny house, along with our SketchUp model add-on. It's entirely through Instagram, so I won't give the rest of the details on how it works. Just follow the link in the description to the Instagram post and it'll all be laid out there. Now, regarding my horrible man cold, I thought I'd share something a bit different with you guys related to a personal interest of mine, because something really exciting happened to me on a trip that I was just on. If you've played it before or you have a keen eye, you may have seen a couple times I've put in a reference to EVE Online into some Tiny Nest videos. It's a game that I've been playing for 12 years now. The company that runs it, CCP Games, is based in Reykjavik, Iceland. And once a year they host a fan fest where players from all around the world come to Iceland. The company hosts presentations, and there's a pub crawl and a big party, as well as player organized gatherings. And there's like a lot of partying for the better part of a week with just a huge number of huge sci-fi nerds. So as you can imagine, it's right up my alley. And having played the game for so long, I'd always heard about this fan fest and wanted to go. So in 2013, the 10-year anniversary of EVE was coming up. And I thought, if I'm gonna go to one of these events, it's gonna be this one. So Kiva actually came with me that year, and we did some sightseeing around Iceland, as well as attending the event, and it was really awesome. And then a few years later, I was involved in a tournament that started from home in EVE that was going to conclude at the following Fan Fest. And I didn't make it to the finals, but I decided to go to watch the finals conclude in person. And some of the other teams that also just were shy of the finals had the same idea as me and went, and I got to meet up with them. I met some new people and it was super fun. And then I continued to play the game throughout the following year, and actually met up with more people and kind of got more involved. And a bunch of those people were going to go to the next Fan Fest, so I went back again. And basically the same things happened with this year. I couldn't stay away. I've had a great time every time. So I returned this year, and this one was especially exciting because they hosted a tournament at the event that began and concluded all on site during the event. And it was an interesting format where it was teams of 3 that were kind of drawn at random, and you were just paired with people that you may have never met before, and possibly from all around the world, which was the case. There were 32 teams that started, and due to some good luck getting paired with some good players, and I'd like to think some hard work and skill, we actually won the entire tournament, got first place, and the prize was a sweet video card. This is like the nicest video card I've ever had, which is a big upgrade for my computer for gaming. And there was some in-game currency given out and these cool little cups. So it was super awesome, and I wanted to share this with you, not only just to tell the story but also because they're, for people who can't attend the event, the company runs a live stream so people can keep up with announcements and presentations and the goings on. And so there is a clip of me and my teammates receiving our prizes on stage during the closing ceremony of the event that was streamed live. So I'm going to put a link in the description to that in case you wanted to see me in a completely different setting other than the whole tiny nest thing that you would be used to. The link should be timestamped, so it should go directly to the relevant point. It's like a long multi-hour stream, but also leave the time just in case you need to seek through or whatever. I'll also put a second link that should go to a spot where it's not related to the tournament directly, but I was asked to do a one-on-one duel versus one of the developers of the game, and that got on the live stream as well, so that was really fun. I thought you might get a kick out of that, and with the whole sickness thing, it's become a joke among players that many people seem to, like right after getting home, symptoms flare up and they have this sickness that's they call the Icelandic death flu or the Icelandic plague, and this is my second year getting it, and it's the same thing. So it's like a very distinct sickness that lingers for a long time. So I've been back for well over a week, and I'm just finally getting over it. And so speaking of that, once I'm fully recovered, I think probably next week we're going to start back on making tiny nest videos. And what we're really going to try to take a more relaxed attitude towards it and not put too much pressure on ourselves. So as always, the videos are just going to come as they do, and we really appreciate, especially if you've watched this far into this video, you must be pretty committed to following us, so we really appreciate that, and hopefully you'll continue to follow along and keep up with our goings on and the progress we continue to make with our little tiny life.
He was right here. Like he was right here. Where'd you lose?
We're just doing a bit for the context.